Okay, hello everyone, and welcome back for episode 13 of Raiders of the Serpent Sea. So, we've had a couple of weeks off. Some of us, like the DM, have been on holiday, but we are back and getting to it. We're one player down this week, but we will continue on regardless. I've got a little bit of an intro, and then we will get the game going. Previously on Raiders of the Serpent Seas. Last time, the party visited a magical island and encountered a shrine that had an eerie, intangible quality. Everything felt off, and even touching objects became problematic. During your investigation, some of you spotted a witch who offered you stew made by, oddly, a squirrel. Afterward, you fought against animated objects before proceeding upstairs to finally meet the matron of the Ironwood. She stunned most of you, and then eventually dragged you all underground where darkness enveloped you. After being ensnared by the vines and pulled beneath the ground on that forsaken island, you find yourselves adrift in an ethereal fog. The ground beneath you feels insubstantial like a cloud, and a chill runs down your spines, leaving you wondering if this is the end, if this is death. Phantom whispers fill the air, voices of the long gone or perhaps people yet to come. They speak of regret, of choices made and lives changed. Their words blend with your own memories until it becomes difficult to distinguish where the stories end and yours begin. An unsettling clarity settles upon you all. You are not alone in the darkness. Each of you can sense the presence of the others, like ghostly echoes in a hall of mirrors. And it's not just your own fears and regrets that haunt you in this place. You can sense the others, and theirs too, the hidden scars that mark the souls of your companions. As the fog slowly lifts, the scene that unfolds is not all your own. Some belong to you, others to your party members. Shadows of their past, revealing their darkest moments in this ethereal realm. Okay, everyone, so we're going to be here in the black darkness here, and obviously we have these little vignettes of each of the characters going on. But first things first, we have all of you are now seeing each other's sort of dreams or these visions that are going on in the moment. And we're going to start with Zisa, but before your little section kicks in, Conrad, it will be a little pre-scene that goes on before that. You all see Zisa plummeting hundreds of meters towards the churning sea below. The moonlight casts an eerie glow around her as the cold wind howls in her ears. She is in freefall, moments until the end. The weight of a profound loss rests heavily on her heart, although she cannot quite grasp the reason for it. Confusion, despair consume her, as her thoughts struggle to understand why she feels so broken and abandoned even as she continues to fall. As she hurtles towards the unforgiving sea, tears fill her eyes, the last of her memories beginning to fade away. With a resounding crash, her body hits the water, sending shockwaves of pain through her like liquid fire. Moments later, only blackness is taking her. A little bit of time passes. And then, Conrad, this is your scene.
The salty scent of the sea fills the air in her refuge, in a secluded seaside cave. Countless days have passed without a proper nourishment, leaving her disoriented and weak. The cave's walls are damp, and the echoing sound of the waves crash against the rocks as it fills her ears. A single light suddenly casts flickering shadows across the rocky interior from the mouth of the cave. A small campfire has been lit by a traveler seeking shelter for the night. The imposing bearded figure busies himself, preparing to rest for the evening. She'll wait until sleep has taken him to strike, waiting until sleep feels almost right. She waits deeper in the cave beyond the light's reach. Scattered around her bare feet on the damp dirt are the remains of small game that have filled her belly but not satisfied a different hunger, some gnawing thing that refuses to be ignored. But the mysterious figure, now pulling her cloak over her shoulders as he tucks in for the night, has what she needs. She knows this without knowing how or why. And as his breathing slows and sleep takes him, she emerges silently from the darkness, eyes gleaming with an ethereal glow in the firelight, pupils far too large, signaling a unique craving. Somehow, this will be the meal she needs. She pounces, in a blur of pale white and deep auburn. Not a sound is made, yet he is ready. The stranger abruptly sits up, bringing a heavily muscled forearm between them, all the while at the same time tossing something into the nearby fire. The vial bursts, and its content turns the flames into a sickly green. But besides from this, he does not move. Even with the woman, he can now see a beautiful but feral woman in tattered rags, having buried her teeth deep into the flesh of his meaty arm. He sits unwaveringly, the cloak fallen away to reveal warm but serviceable hide armor. His stoic response confuses her. He wasn't fighting back, he didn't cry out, he wasn't struggling or attempting to flee. She had come to know fight or flight these last few weeks in the cave when she hunted her prey, but this was neither. Feeling overwhelmed and confused, she pulls away and moves to escape. However, the stranger quickly intercepts. I've seen this moment in my visions. No more harm will come to either of us. We'll speak now, and you'll come to see our destinies are interwoven, trust me. She stops. These are the first words she can remember hearing, and she's surprised to find she understands. She opens her mouth, still slick with his blood, and croaks out a sound. In a few moments, she finds her voice, and in a few more, she finds she can use it. Visions. The term echoes in her mind, again, something that feels almost right. I've glimpsed our future, he continues, slowly getting to his feet. In it, you stand with us, turning the tides of battle for Harhan, using your power against our foes. She didn't know what a Halharn was, but, again, the gleam in his eye leads her to believe that he was speaking true, a singular eye, for the other is covered in a patch. The word power resonates for her, and quickly another comes to mind in association. Magic. As fast as the thought occurs, a ghostly light appears around her right hand and is gone just as quickly, but it confirmed what the man suspected from the start and the reason why he came to begin with. She also stood from her crouched position, and he was surprised that they were of the same height. Without the thrill of the hunt, she feels herself recede into the cool calm she has known so well. If you're aware of my nature, why allow me to strike? I see beyond your need. I see a purpose beyond this. I've seen it in my dreams. Dreams. That was it. That finally felt more than almost. That felt exactly right. The man read it in her eyes instantly, a need that rivaled on the primal. The woman was empty. She didn't have dreams of her own, but she needed them. And he understood it at nearly the same moment she did. She needed dreams the way a raider needed fresh water. He grasped for the right words to make the offer he knew he must make. You look famished, so I'll help you then. I've lived plenty of life and dream of it often enough. If you can somehow get what you need from me, then I'll let you. My dreams, until we discern it is safe. You have to give me a word that you will be safe. Her placid face didn't betray the excitement she felt, but she knew this was exactly what she needed. After a moment of thought, she nods. I promise. Which was technically the truth. She would only find nourishment in this man's dreams, for now. He flashed a smile then. Good, then the bloody arm was worth the trip. We'll go back to camp, then head back to Helwick in the morning. Mother Gunberg will want to be making this official. As they prepare to exit the cave, the man addresses the forest beyond, his voice firm and assuring. The signifier remains green. She accompanies us because I, Hrolf, deem it so. She is bound by her word. A dozen heavily armed raiders step from the tree line, visibly relaxed. As the waiting hunting party turns to walk down the hidden path they had made, the woman raises an eyebrow to the man now known as Hrolf. I saw this ending peacefully, but it doesn't hurt to be prepared, he says with a shrug and a smile. I could not see your name, though. You can call me Zisa, Zisa says without hesitation, though she does not know why. And with that, Hrolf and Zisa's fate are intertwined, changing them both.
Okay, thank you, Conrad. So yeah, that's that scene there. And unfortunately, I'm going to need a charisma saving throw from her, please.
Ugh.
Okay. As this all plays out and the rest of you are sensing this scene happening and she's reliving this memory, there is another set of eyes watching on as this is all happening in the background and silently taking in what is happening in the moments as everything fades back to black. Thank you, Conrad. Much appreciated. Okay, we have no Seb this week, but Baldur is next on the list, as in the blackness, his memories will come to the fore. So, out of the darkness, you guys see what looks to be the heart of a village, and it is dominated by a training ring. A young Baldur circles his friend, Elric. Both are shirtless, sweat-drenched, and fueled with the raucous cheers of their clansmen. They are fighting and have been for a while, when a heart-stopping uppercut from Baldur catches Eric's jaw. He stumbles and his head is left off to an odd angle as he hits the wooden floor below with a sickening thud, and a silence falls over the crowd. Across the hall, a woman that Hodor would recognize, as it happens to be your mother. She gets up, rising to her feet, her eyes as cold as northern glaciers, and yet filled with an unsettling pride. "My son has proven he is worthy today," she announces, her voice cutting through the silence like a knife. "This is the making of a Jarl. His Eric life is a small price to pay for this." Baldur looks down at his fallen friend. He knows that there will be no Valkyries coming for Eric, only the haunting void of the unworthy death that he has just created. Hours later, we see Baldur running, leaving that part of his life behind, and he will go to begin a new one. Time passes, and we see Baldur's life become a labyrinth of shadows and half-truths. In dim-lit taverns far from home, he sings songs of valor and bravery, songs of a life he does not live. And so we see Baldur one last time standing on yet another foreign shore with a raiding party. He busies himself with inconsequential tasks, and he keeps his hands full and his mind empty as comrades leap into battle, axes and swords gleaming in the sunlight. He stays back. His hands grip a piece of rope as if it was a lifeline, keeping him from falling into the abyss of his own making. He can't trust himself in combat against another living soul. Not after what he has done. We see one last flash of his friend's dead face lying on the floor, and the training ring again one more time. And Seb was kind enough to do me a roll offline for his saving throw, and again, a set of piercing eyes in the blackness will be watching the scene play out. Okay, next on the list will be, I believe, Frida's scene. So out of the blackness, we see a dimly lit chamber. Deep within a castle, a young, well-dressed Frida, concealed behind heavy curtains, her heart pounding as she overhears whispers coming from the room beyond. From a hidden vantage point, she watches members of the royal court gathered and talking in hushed tones. They exchange sinister glances and furtive gestures. A dark figure, masked and cloaked, enters the room and is approached by the conspirators. Their voices lowered even further as they pass around the scroll, and Frida has to strain to hear the words. "I have paid handsomely for this. Once they're dead, the throne will be ours." Another replied with a wicked chuckle. Fear clenched Frida's heart as she realized what must be going on, and they were plotting against her family. As the figures take the scroll, Frida couldn't wait any longer, and she slips away from her hiding place, making her way trying to make to their family chambers. She has to try and warn them. Moments later, she burst into her parents' chamber, her voice trembling with urgency. "Mother! Father!" she yelled, but it was already too late. The room was empty, the bed was dishevelled, and signs of struggle were evident. Tears welled up in Frida's eyes as she realised her desperate warning would already come too late. Her family was already under attack. She could hear the signs of battle already underway in the corridors of the castle beyond. Just as hope begins to wane, the door swings open with a deafening crash, and a towering raider figure, his eyes filled with fury, stands in the doorway. He spots Frida with a wicked grin, lunging forward and capturing her in a vice-like grip. "Looks like we found ourselves a little one," he growled as his iron grip leaving Frida helpless and trapped. And once again, the blackness will return. And Joe, we're going to need a charisma saving throw from Frida, please. Okay, fair enough. And once again, a pair of eyes are seeing the scene play out in the darkness. And back to black one more time. And then next will be Hodor. Jess, so you're there for this one, and take it away as you can.
In a dimly lit wooden cabin somewhere deep within the forest, surrounding Hodor's family's former lands, on one side there is a burning hearth. On the opposite wall, various relics and symbols of the Lutang clan are displayed. The room itself is filled with the soft, flickering glow from the hearth. There is a narrow gap under the door, leading to Hodor's room, for which he listens to the conversation beyond. The woman previously seen in Boulder's dream stands before the hearth, her eyes wet with frustration and her jaw set tight. Her fingers are absent-mindedly playing with a small pendant that once represented their position as Jar rulers. Her husband stands by the window, his gaze directed towards the woods outside, his posture tense, his eyes filled with sadness, anger, and defeat. "We had everything, Bo. We were respected, loved, and now we're nothing but exiles." Bo sighs deeply and turns to his wife. "I know, Uflid. The treachery we faced, I should have seen it coming. Where was Balder in our time of need? Our eldest son. If only he were here, perhaps things would have been different," the woman laments, shaking her head in sorrow. "You know he has his reasons for his journeys, but I too wish he was here to defend our honor and the legacy of the Lutang clan." There is a pause between the couple. The only sound that can be heard is the crackling of the hearth and the distant hooting of an owl in the woods. "Hodor is with us, but what can he do? He's nothing but a novice, still learning the way of the druids." Bo looks out through the window and sighs deeply once more. "He is young, yes, and we shouldn't burden him with the weight of our legacy. But Baldur, he would have truly been our strength." As a young Hodor listens from beyond the door, his heart pounds heavily. He feels an overwhelming weight of guilt, shame, and a fierce desire to prove himself. Uflid lets a small tear creep down her face. "We've lost nearly everything, Bo, but we still have each other. And, well, our children. We'll find a way." Bo rests her hand on his wife's shoulder and just says, "Just hope it's not too late." Behind the door, Hodor clenches his fist. The feeling of being overshadowed by Baldur and the perceived helplessness from his parents gnaws at him. He feels the need to take action, to prove his worth, and to restore his family's honor and legacy. Going out into the darkness beyond, Hodor whispers to himself, a self-fulfilling prophecy of sorts. "I will do whatever it takes, even if I have to dabble in forbidden arts." With this newfound determination, Hodor sets out on a path that will change his destiny and his family's future forever.
Thank you very much, Jess. And unfortunately, yes, I burden you with a role. But well done. Thank you. It's okay.
Wow, we surely can't all fail.
Wow.
Apparently,
Death
absolutely on this one.
Was meant to be.
Yeah, Hodor again, eyes watching as the scene plays out, along with all of your comrades. Anyway, thank you very much. As blackness returns once more, and then the next one we have will be Blythe's one. So in a flickering hall with torches dancing shadows upon a rough-hewn wooden wall of this ancient Viking hall, the air inside is thick with the scent of mead and distant promise of battle. At the center of the room is a carved oak bed. Its curtains slightly drawn, and it's trying to keep the wind out that's howling outside. Lying within it is the body, or the soon-to-be body, of a man. He seems weak and frail, and he seems to be having some of his last moments. Blythe, as a brooding figure, is standing over him by the side of the bed, his face etched with concern. His long, unkempt hair and beard frame his intensity in his eyes as he watches this man lying there, his father, Ragnar, a once mighty warrior, now frail and weak. Ragnar's breaths are coming in laboured wheezes as he struggles to find his voice, and a gnarled hand clings to his wrist at the moment, surprising with still some strength. We hear Ragnar say to Blythe, "Blythe, my son, the end of my watch is upon us." Blythe nodded, his chest tight with both sorrow and determination. He had known this day would come and he would be the last, but hearing his father speak of it aloud makes it all too real in the moment. But his voice is steady. "Aye, father, the ravens have spoken, and I have felt it in my bones. The Jotun are returning." Ragnar's grip tightens, and he lets out a rattled cough. A nearby candle flickers, casting eerie shadows across the room. Ragnar now whispering, "You are now the last of our line, Blythe. The burden of our ancestors now falls upon your shoulders. The ancient woods, the great mountains, and the howling sands. They have all now become your charge. And now you must alone be firm against what is to come with the Jotun." Blythe swallows hard, the weight of his father's words settling upon him like an iron shroud. He has always known this was his destiny, yet for now knowing that he would be on his own is a crushing thing. "I will not falter, father. I will honour our family's legacy and defend our lands from the Jotun. They will not pass while I draw breath." Ragnar's lips curled in a faint smile as his eyes filling with pride, despite his weakened state. Ragnar, his voice almost nothing but a whisper. "You have the spirit of a true Viking, my son. But there is something else. Something that has haunted you since your youth, more than the rest of us." Blythe's brow furrowed, his thoughts turning to the reoccurring nightmares that have plagued him for as long as he can remember. The horrid creatures, the Jotun, and the overwhelming feeling of failure that would accompany with each dream. It may be an impossible task. "Aye, father. I have seen them in my dreams. The Jotun, I presume, and the fight against them. But in every dream I fail. Ragnar nods, his eyes filled with a knowing sadness. "It is a heavy burden, my son, to bear the weight of the past and the future. But remember this, Blythe. The past is written, but the future is yours to shape. The nightmares may haunt you, but they do not define you. You are strong and you will prevail." Blythe's resolve hardened as he listened to his father's words, and the torches in the hall burned brighter as if in agreement with his wisdom. "I will not let the nightmares deter me, father. I will stand against the Jotun." Ragnar's grip on Blythe's wrist finally loosens, his weary eyes closing. He has said his piece, passing on the weight of the legacy that has been for so many generations gone through so many now to his son. Blythe watched over him a moment longer before he turned to leave the hall, its footsteps echoing through this ancient timber building. Outside the winds howled, but now they whispered promises of the coming storm. On that Blythe was determined to face them head on, nightmares be damned. The next day Blythe set out to find a man named Hrolf of the clan Halharn. It was time to go pay him a visit, as the ravens had said. And with that then, Jamie, we need a similar roll, please.
Ooh. What was it? Charisma save.
Charisma saving throw, please. Yeah.
You think I'd be ready for this?
No, don't worry. Not a problem. Not a problem.
How do you do a save? Forget. Just click on it.
Yeah, you should be able to. Yeah, if you hit your token.
There you go.
Yeah,
I got it.
Yeah.
It didn't matter anyway. I failed.
No way all of us gonna fail.
Is it gonna be that everybody?
One of us.
I hope so.
So yes, again, glowing eyes in the darkness, absorbing the scene that does take place, and going back into the darkness. And then we have one final scene, and this will be Rounder's turn. If you're okay for it, Drew?
I
By all
am
means.
indeed. Before you lies a vast battlefield, outstretched to the horizon. The setting sun casts the land in a deep orange and crimson hue. The air is thick with a symphony of clashing weapons, the cries of warriors, and the howls of wolves. At the epicenter of the chaos stands Rauda. Her bold streaks of war paint splattered with the blood of enemies, and her dark hair framing her face. Her eyes aflame with the battle's adrenaline. She moves with deadly grace, cutting down foes who dare approach her, wolves and men alike, with nothing more than what appears to be a tool as opposed to a warrior's weapon, a woodsman's axe, if you will. Seemingly invincible, her prowess drags her across the battlefield. Not too far from her, a similar but older, more powerful warrior darts with the grace and prowess that oozes mystical strength. They fight fiercely together, in unison. In a small, quiet corner of the battlefield, Rauda slowly makes her way. We see a figure trying to find refuge amongst all this chaos. A female elven gold. Her ethereal beauty is juxtaposed against the harsh reality of this battlefield. Silver hair flows behind her, and despite the dirt and grime, she exudes an otherworldly elegance. Rauda spots her and approaches, weapon raised, and speaks. Hold your weapon high and die with honor, elf. The elf stands but does not hold a weapon. Stoically, she seems to refuse the command. Almost disappointedly, Rauda just looks. The shame your gods must feel this. You are worth no glory. And she simply turns and marches towards them again. But as she wanders back, the skald speaks up, and almost in unison, the wind picks up around Rauda. No death shall find you, her eyes filled with a mix of sorrow and determination. The winds begin to intensify, carrying her words across the battlefield, till the wolf rises at the forever sunset. Rauda scoffs and just stares at the elf, considering her words nothing more but desperate whispers of a defeated enemy. However, as fate would have it, amidst the heat of battle, an arrow found its mark, piercing Rauda's chest and causing her to fall. Her vision blurs as her clan rallies around her, their anguished cries blending with the cacophony of war. Rauda's vision comes back slowly, and in the distance she sees a great hall filled with cheers, the sounds of revelry. She's finally made it to the halls of the slain. And with a grin, she marches towards her rightful place amongst her kin. But as she reaches, the great doors slam suddenly before she can enter. And she feels a sensation on her skin of burning, fire. She looks to her hand and it begins to turn to ash as her vision is ripped back to the mortal plane. She coughs as she awakens on her funeral pyre, skin burnt and some turned to ash already. She grips the side and pulls herself away. The weight and the reality of her curse slowly dawning. Each subsequent death she faces, no matter the circumstance, sees her reborn at dawn. The curse's grip unrelenting. And she has died many, many times over, each with the same effect. For hundreds and hundreds of years, she has yet to find her place amongst the halls of the slain.
Okay, thank you there, Drew. Much appreciated. And I need the same from you. Can you break the tide here, or are we going to have the same thing going on?
Gave myself exhaustion.
Well, yeah. Considering, you've done your bit. Much appreciated.
No way.
Yay!
Okay.
We all did bad.
Yes. So once again, a pair of golden eyes watching on through the darkness before the blackness returns. And then the scene played out as you remember from the end of the last episode. You guys had to pull yourselves out of shallow graves, pretty much in shock of what had gone on, and had managed to pull yourselves back to the ship, where they had told you that you'd been a few hours at best. And as you managed to pull the ship away from the shores, you saw most of the island quickly disappear behind you, as if it was nothing but a mirage. And I think this is kind of where we pick up, as you guys are been fairly quiet for a little while on board ship, trying to just absorb what you've seen. Remember, each of you have seen each other's bit that has gone on here in the darkness, so you are all aware of each story that has been going on. You know that the War clan are out there, and you still have to come up with a plan for what is going to be going on with those as well. You also know that there are other options of going to the Well of Wisdom, but all of those things can wait, as first of all you have to digest what you have seen. And is there anything that happens when you're back on board ship and you're able to absorb what you have initially seen?
At least we've now seen firsthand that we can just leave Rauda to die.
That is true. That is one way. That is one way of looking at it. Absolutely. Yes, you definitely have felt the pain of her burning on the pyre. You've seen her sort of crawl away back out of that, and then die many times over in these visions.
I imagine you've seen quick flashes of every single time she's died.
Yeah, and oddly across the multiverse, all the other times Drew's character. No, we won't go quite there. not quite that far.
Gosh.
But no, yes, in this, yes, all of Rauda's past deaths, each pain, each time not making it to the halls of the slain.
Frida would probably just be steering the boat, very she's very deep in thought. You can see reliving that sort of memory has hit her quite hard. She's just sort of trying to just get us to where we need to go next. She
definitely sounds like she's busying herself. She is obviously the captain or the commander of the ship in that respect. So there is a lot more on Frida's plate from a perspective on that front, and that is definitely true.
Which is good for her. She's definitely trying to keep herself
busy,
her head away from what just happened.
Busy and away from the others. That's fair enough. Do any of you speak of these things between each other, or do you all let them go quietly? I suppose will be the question.
Hodor is actively avoiding his brother, like not in a petty way that he's been doing before. He will not meet his eyes. He does not want to have this conversation. He is too emotionally stunted for that. So he's just avoiding his brother as much as possible to avoid the
and it seems blissfully obvious that he is trying to do the exact same of avoiding that for now. As he's also.
Does everyone know that we've seen each other's? Or does
none of you have spoken about any of it yet. Yeah.
But this is what I'm thinking. Like, I'm not going to say anything because I keep having my weird dreams and stuff. I would think that I've seen this because of
who you are, yes, and your background. Yeah, there would be a very different. There would be a very different weight of that. Yeah, on that one, as that would be a thing.
I would like to roll an Arcana.
Absolutely, yeah.
That's probably not enough, but do I know what spell or what curse or what happened to Router?
You would actually know what the curse is. I'm going to say probably not on that respect, but you would definitely be aware that there are magics in this world that would be able to pull off things like that. That is certainly not impossible. It would be very high level magic to be able to have done it. Yeah, you're not sure of the exact thing, but yes, there's possibilities. It doesn't usually end up with regenerative and being able to survive everything. That also suggests that there may be higher levels of magic than just normal arcane involved, but that would be the hints you would be able to get with the 16.
I think just to let everyone know that we all saw it, I think Zisa is just going to say, "So you spoke true. You really cannot die. That will be useful to us." And then that was not quiet, so loud enough for anybody on the boat probably to hear. And then she's going to go back to the wizard's body and start scribing Flaming Spear.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah, back to the point.
But now everybody knows that we all saw what we saw.
Thank you. I've been trying to tell you over and over and over again, and yet no one believes me.
Yeah, you can all see the moment it clicks into Hodor that they can all see everything, and he looks even paler than before, and he. He's instead of just actively looking forward and not at his brother, he turns his head completely the opposite direction and moves so he doesn't even face him. Like, there's not a hope in hell that he is gonna do any of that.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I suppose this means we're all linked in some way, then. It's not just happenstance that's brought us together, it's fate. We all saw something with each other.
Yeah, the Volve work in mysterious ways. You, Blythe knows that better than anyone. That's certainly true.
The Volve work in mysterious ways.
But yes, they've always been cryptic with even with you and through the Ravens and all the rest of it. But yeah, I mean, for the fact that these things are all intertwined, I'm not sure whether that would actually be that surprising to Blythe in that respect. It's probably just like makes sense to him in those moments. So I could definitely see that being a thing. The only thing, Blythe, for you that would be very odd in those visions that you did see, wolves are a fairly recent thing.
Yes, I was thinking this when I heard you say about them. So this was just in Rouders, was it?
Yes. So the very early points of Rouders' dreamscape that you were seeing, there were definitely wolves involved. You didn't recognize the armors and all the rest of it, or of what was going on, so it's definitely old. But yeah, it would have been.
Rauda actually knew about wolves as well, didn't she?
She did. She was aware of them as a thing. Yes.
And professed a very dislike for them.
Has Rauda told us how long she's been alive, and we just didn't?
She's made no secret of it. She's met, like, when we first found the ancient writings, when we first found Sadi, she could read the script from ages ago. So at least Zisa clocked that, because Zisa was having trouble deciphering it.
Yes, it was definitely, age is definitely a thing. That is definitely been a bit. I don't know if you've directly worked out how long or whether that's been a thing. But does anyone approach her on that, or is it left to the
kind of person to just stop counting after a while?
Yeah, absolutely.
Did you not celebrate your 998th birthday?
She hates birthdays. I don't even think she can remember her own. She's just been there forever.
Fair enough.
Hodor will continue looking out into the ocean and not engaging eye contact. But he will say loud enough for it all to carry. Did anyone else see eyes? And did anybody recognize them?
James, did those eyes look like they belong to the woman that we saw, that
yes,
what's his nuts Blythe went to chase?
Correct, absolutely. Yes, absolutely.
I forgot your name for a hot second. It's been a while.
It has been a while, but absolutely, it's absolutely fair.
So
yes,
Zisa will just say it was the Red Witch. Whatever magic she used to pull us under the ground was also used to invade our minds and see our memories, even the ones that we may not have remembered consciously. And just a slight furrow of the brow shows that Zisa is slightly troubled by that.
Yes, I mean, you also heard for the first time, none of you had ever heard of the name, as she put herself as the matron of the Ironwood. That was a new name. That's not something. Yeah, you've heard of the witches of the Ironwood, but someone calling themselves the matron of the Ironwood, that has not been a thing up to this point as well. So yes, you do believe that those eyes do belong to the matron, and whatever was going on there was yes. There was certainly those eyes were piercing in and watching on. And with that, is there anything else that anyone tries to figure out, or are we?
Am I able to send ravens, or just receive them?
I believe that you have an affinity for being able to call to them, and they do tend to just turn up when you do ask like that one. You do send messages back and forth with the Volve. I'm going to say that has happened over the years. You just don't do it often. And I don't know if you've ever tried it from a ship out at sea, but it's it doesn't mean that you don't know if that power or how that works. But you've never tried
to send
it.
Out and just wait. If one comes, it comes. If not, it just,
so yeah, you kind of you send out into the sort of in your mind as you've done before, and it's sort of calling to them and wanting to pass on a message. And we'll see if a little bit of time plays out for that. Is there anything else anyone else is up to before we get to the discussions of what are you actually up to next? Is the key thing with the War clan.
Zisa is not actually scribing. She just went over to the body of the wizard to look busy. She actually has that feather in her hand. And I think she's going to ritually cast Detect Magic because she has not done it on the feather. And see if she can't glean any sort of information from that now that she knows that she fell from the sky.
Fair enough. So she takes a bit of time, and she will ritually cast. Not a problem. There is a little bit of residual magic left, but not a lot. I mean, you know that this came from you saw it fall from a sort of a divine being, and even in this sort of version of things, it still gives off some sort of divine magics, even now. But it has wavered with time.
Okay, she's just gonna meditate on that for the remainder of the evening.
No problem. So I think we'll have a tiny bit of time sort of passes here as Frida has just been keeping the ship on a steady course towards what you know to be from Blythe's messages, at least some sort of an encampment that is linked to a War encampment of some description. So we know that source was a Raven and a Volve that sent that through, and make of that what you will. But I think once you guys have rested and sort of recouped the next morning, I think you have to start thinking about...
We're having a long rest.
You are definitely having a long rest.
Yay.
Yes, you are. You are at the point of a long rest.
Oh, I gotta also roll a dice.
Oh yes, yeah, let's make sure that we have a key thing.
I can never remember. Like I can never find it. Is it in my?
Is it in the backstory bit, or is it where's it hiding? We have to build you a little thing for that. The danger dice, as we should call it. A 12, I think that makes you okay.
Yeah, I'm okay.
So yes, he wakes for another day. So the next morning comes up. I mean, you guys know you were on a few days course towards wherever this encampment were. So you're probably a day out from wherever that's going to be. And you've now got to really decide how you're going to play this with them. I mean, you don't know if you're going to be coming up on the main encampment straight away, or if it's some sort of an outpost. You think it's an outpost. Obviously, there are many different ways to play this. Do you want to try and... I think one of the big things that was with you guys originally was how many of these people are mind controlled by the thorns and things like that. You were worried about that being a possibility. You also have got to decide, are you going to try and raid the place, or are you going to go as under parlay and things like that, or are we going to go hunting for people before going to try and take on the main encampment and things like that? All these sort of options are going to be open to you, but you've got to decide What's your thought process when you're going to be getting close in the next day or so to whatever this mark on the map is, and how you're going to play it to try and figure things out? Are you in the talking mood? Bearing in mind that these are also the people that killed your original crew, or at least some of those clan would have been. You know that the what Blythe is called the Gully is actually this lead. He's like the brother of one of the main clan leaders. And so you know that he was definitely in the boat that attacked you guys. But yeah, it's going to be down to you guys how you want to play this, and what sort of initial thoughts you're going to have on making your way there and dealing with them. So what's the initial sort of thought processes as this is all going on, as you're going to be getting closer?
Zisa's keeping Harolf looped in via message, by the way.
Yes, absolutely.
To this conversation.
Zisa, whether or not you pass this on to the others, I mean, you know, Harolf is pissed that his crew was killed. Certainly, I mean, he would be quite happy to just raid the place and take them by force. But he is also does realize there is a bigger mission, and also someone he doesn't quite trust. Blythe is a member of that same clan, so there's a lot going on with him. But you are more aware of this than some of the others because of your conversations.
Yeah.
So,
I think we should get the surprise attack.
Well, it's up to Blythe. Does he want to do that? I suppose.
does he want to
'Cause
attack?
it's his clan. I don't
Well,
want
we know the brainwashed, right? We know that they're not.
We do not know. I have not seen them yet. I would have to get near them to know.
Yeah, you've met lots of Lutan clan members that have definitely had this process done to them. You did have members of the War clan sort of reanimate on you and come after you after death from the sea, which was extremely weird. But that was early days, so you have had that. There is a bit of supposition that maybe whatever's going on with these thorns and the witches is more widespread, and maybe that's the reason, and that certainly is plausible. I'm not gonna knock that for you on that one. It is certainly plausible. But yeah, it is going to be down to how you guys want to try and play it as you come up to this first place. Are you thinking going in as fast as you can and capture what you can from whatever you find is this initial place, or are you thinking more hug the coast and sort of sneak up on whatever's going on in that area on the map and see what's going on? Both of these options are completely acceptable.
Oda would put a vote in for sneaking because he wants more information about this. If them coming back to life is linked with the weird magic that we've come across with, then that's another version that we need to study a bit more, and also Ironwood stuff Oda's big into. So would like to David Attenborough style watch them before making any attempts, just to see if
I also think
things like that.
I think making sure that we're doing the right thing is key. I don't want to attack my clan for no reason, you know?
But now I want to hear Hodor's narration in the style of David Attenborough.
That's a whole side story we'll have to get to at some point.
That's DLC, that is.
Yeah.
We haven't bought the DLC
Pay me
yet.
money to unlock the
Ah, nice.
I
like
will
it.
listen to that podcast.
Fair enough. Okay, so yeah, I mean, with those sort of things, Frida, that comes down to you a bit more than the rest. As the captain of the ship, some of this will be down to it would basically be things like you having to roll sort of certain checks to do. To be able to go into the shallows, navigate the ship. We make it quite simple in that when you're trying to push the ship, it's strength. type checks, and if it's something that's a bit more navigating, it's usually Dex, if that makes sense on that front.
Not good at that one.
Fair enough on that one. But yeah, you do have a bit of that going on, but it does turn into a bit of those sort of things. Others can help out with being good at perceiving things that are going on at a distance, if that makes sense. So if you do want to nominate someone as to be in the crow's nest as the person doing the watching out and seeing what's going on, that is also acceptable as well.
I don't want to be the person in the crow's nest because I don't have really good perception, but I do have my owl. So if I use my owl, can I give advantage to the person that's in the crow's nest?
I like that, and I'm happy for that to be a thing that Zisu is aiding to.
I was gonna say I get advantage from my wolf, but I wouldn't be really taking that up the crow's nest.
Yeah, so then my owl is flying, and basically I'm reiterating what the owl sees to Blythe.
No problem. So the way this is, as a group, you've kind of decided then you're going to go into a sort of a mode of trying to sneak as close as you can to the coast of the place and see if you can hug the land and make your way round to the side and see what you can see going on and go from there on that one. It's going to come down to a sort of a piloting check and a few other bits and bobs as this is going on. So we'll proceed to it basically will take about a day of travel to get where you're going. So it'll be the next morning when you actually do finally end up close to what is going on. It becomes very small on the horizon for most of you as others are looking out, but a small oval-shaped island sort of appears off a few miles ahead. It seems to be a mix of spruce, fir and yew trees that seem to be covering the island. There are little low rolling hills and numerous birds seem to flutter in the air and splash around in the coastal waters seeking fish as this is all going on. So the first things we need to do is we would have Blythe. I will need you to give me a perception check, and Frida, I'm going to have you give me, in this case, you're going to have a strength check to try and push the ship close into the coast quickly, so that you come out of the fog in a reasonable way as this is going on. So perception check is good, and then just Frida, if you can give me a strength check to try and balance this out. Pretty good overall. Okay, so as the ship is sort of coming through the low fog that sort of surrounds the island, most of the islands most of the time, there is a bit of snow in the air going on as is pretty much usual with what's going on this sort of area of this Serpent Sea. You push the ship quickly into the shallow areas of the seas around the island. And Blythe, with the aid of Zeus's owl, you will pick out that there are, on one section of the island, there are a couple of small faring boats, so small ships. They're about 7 or 8 people-sized ships, if that makes sense. There's 2 of them, and they seem to have been pulled into the waters on this sort of side where there is sort of a little bit more of a bay, if that makes sense, on this one side, and you've sort of managed, Frida, to pull the ship in on the other side, keeping into the bits there as Blythe and Zisa have sort of been sort of settling and working out how this is going on. And then it sort of comes down to you, Frida. Now you're in the tricky bit. Now you've got to try and navigate the ship quickly through these sort of rocky patches without not so much that you're going to cause that dramatic a damage, but you can do it quickly or you can end up doing it slowly and they'll be more aware of your approach as this is going on. There must be people on the island, but you've not done it yet, but that would be your next step, if that makes sense. Before
we do that, do we want to put Blythe's shield on the front of the ship and drop the flags, just so it looks more like we're coming as WAR members, not Horn?
That's a good plan.
You're the captain, jeez.
You
I mean, it's
certainly
your
could.
shield.
It is quite a hefty deception because usually it would be a proper
Yes.
banner.
Yes,
So yeah, there is sort of bits that the jig might be up if. But I would kind of let you do a you as doing a deception check for the ship, if that makes sense. On
It's
that one.
either a chance of deception or it's just blatantly we are not part of the war. We're just coming onto
Correct,
the
yeah,
island.
because it's you're not following Viking convention quite correctly, if that makes sense. But it could be you could be making the argument that they've lost the banner and this is as good as they could do in the moment. It might fall, but yeah,
Well, we'll do it. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. It's
no problem. Yeah, Blythe, you bring your shield down to the front, lashing it almost like a banner to the front of the ship to see if that can pull off something in the moment. Is there anything else anyone else is going to try and improve the chances of what's going to happen here? You know, Frida's in for doing some tricky
I have a
tricky
+0 to
navigating.
dex
Yeah,
before I
some
go,
tricky
so-
navigating going on. Is there anything anyone else can aid on in the ship or bring something different to what might be going on here? Speak now or forever hold your peace.
Could we somehow make sure the wolf is very visible?
Do you know what? I was just thinking the exact same thing.
Yeah.
What are you thinking?
Like Simba hold him up.
Yeah,
Ah,
like,
yeah,
just
yeah.
like go to the front of the ship. You know, stand at the front.
Yeah, stand on the prow and add to it. Yeah, that certainly would add to the deception. That would certainly be an extra as that's going on, and would certainly probably be something to add to closing the distance. Is there anything
Zisa-
else that anyone can think of? Yeah.
Yeah, Zisa turns to Router and says, "You are capable of navigating a ship as well. Do you think you would be more capable of doing this sort of navigating than Frida? Do you have better decks, aka?"
Let me have a look.
Mm-hmm. You could be on you could be on an assist at the helm.
Yeah, I could help.
Yeah, I was going to say, can the Orn leader help? But if Raudo can help, that's fine.
Yeah, like I said, your NPCs are certainly there and doing their thing on that one. But yeah, this is more what's your main group bringing to it. I'm happy that Raudor gives an assist to you, Frida, on that on this navigating check. That's absolutely fine. And then then you're going to be giving me a deception as well on top of that. And I think with two things going on, I will let you have that advantage as well with some of the suggestions that have come up. So yeah, I'm happy for that. So Frida, so first things first, which way are you going to play it? We've got to go for the navigating first, I think.
Yeah, did you say it was saving throws or checks?
It's going to be checks, yeah. In this case, yeah, because you're not, yeah.
Okay, well, Bless doesn't help me with that, so I'll just do it then. At advantage, it was.
At advantage for this is your dex for your navigation. So this is how quickly you can bring the boat in.
Oh my god!
Oh my god! With little helpful nudges from Rauder, the ship seems to glide effortlessly through the shadows, coming around quickly and fast onto the towards the to the mainlands as this is all going on. You guys get much closer than than you would have originally got when you actually do see men running back to these little ships. 6 men, three per ship, or 3 per boat as this is all going on. And they are looking to either flee or be ready for what's coming in. So now we need Frida to give us the deception check with advantage that she's got from all of the wolf and the shield up front.
That is better than I thought it'd be.
Yeah, fair enough. As you can see, as they're preparing, there is momentary conversations going on as you guys get closer, and as your ship is much closer than you would have ever been. The other the two little ships try to take off, realizing something is wrong. When they start to see the makeup of your crew as you guys are getting closer, and panic sets in. So yeah, there will be. You guys are very, very close to these little ships, and they are going to struggle to outrun you as this is all going on here. So this is you guys, and then I need a couple of others. Bear with me. They're going to be little smaller ships. 1 second.
Oh,
Oh,
I know.
look how small their oars
that's
are.
so cute.
And look how small they are. Yeah, if I had smaller ships, I would use them. But yes, yeah, on that one, there is very little distance because they take off so late in the actual moment here. We're not going to have this is the start of a little bit of a chase here. Basically, there's 3 on each of these ships as you guys are starting to give chase. Are there that you guys have pretty much a little bit of extra speed over them. Basically, you just have to decide, what sort of things are you going to try and do? Are you going to try and, ram them and take them, or what's the thought process?
Can we see any clan symbols or anything?
Absolutely, yeah. They're close enough to see your symbols and what's going on your ship behind you, and that you're a mix. You are picking up that these are all War clan members when you do get it, and they are running as far as you can see.
Are these sailing vessels or are they rowing?
They do have small sails. They are small, but they are small ships. So they'd have like a maximum of 8 if they were full, and they're not. In theory, you could outrow them if there was no wind, and with wind, you are technically faster than they are. If they were further out, they might stand a chance of escaping you. You have played some cards and some bits that are definitely doing it. Apologies, the distance won't be visually right on here on this one, but you are within sort of 50 feet of these sort of ships as you're pulling in close and quick.
Within 50 feet.
Yes, this is what your skill has got you. They've barely managed to get off the island. With realizing something is off, and they're panicking.
Is there, like, a certain person commanding the ship?
Make a perception check, or who was Blythe? You were actually doing the ship's perceptions, weren't you? So yeah, you're the man for that. So can you give me the perception roll? Yeah,
because of my owl.
Because of the owl that's going on. Absolutely, Blythe. Yeah, you give me the roll.
Perception.
Yes, please. Yeah, advantage with all the extras that are going on. That is not a problem.
Thank goodness for advantage.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's. Oh, yes, there we go.
16. Okay. Looking amongst them, you wouldn't say that there was much that you can make out that they were. One was like more the leader than the others, if that makes sense. However, you are noticing things that the others don't quite know yet. These look like scavengers and foragers. These look like people that would have been out hunting for food, for game, wood, etc. These are not going to be skilled, members of arms. Obviously, they have a level of clan membership. They are raiders after all, but they're not going to be elite. They don't look like elites or anything bizarre, if that makes sense. So really, you've got the problem you got is you have 2 little ships, and what would be your thought process is the question.
Take the ships out, take the prisoners. Do you think?
Absolutely, that is certainly something.
If you're okay with that, Blythe.
Ships out. Guns out.
If how far away are we from the ships?
About 50 feet now, so it's
50
pretty
feet.
quick.
Okay.
It's pretty quick. Yeah.
Then Zisa is going to nod to Blythe after saying that, and she is going to cast Scorching Ray, which is one of the new spells she got from the Wizard's Corpse.
Oh, very nice.
And she's aiming for their sails so that they could only propel themselves via manpower.
Very interesting. Very interesting.
So that way they have to slow down, and we have the wind and ropes.
That's very, very, very good. So which one are we going for? The left or the right here?
Well, I get 3 rays.
Very nice.
So I will go for the port first, so over to the left.
Mm-hmm.
Is a 20 enough to hit their sails?
20 is definitely enough to hit the sails of that going on. And with the 8 fire damage, the sails are definitely starting to burn as this is going on. If they leave that happening, they will be in trouble in a few rounds. That's certainly true.
Okay, so then the second one is going to go for starboard.
Mm-hmm.
Probably misses with a 10.
Yeah, it does miss on the second one as this is all going on.
But I do get a third. Wait,
Okay.
we got the little goober with us.
Yeah, we do.
You do. Is he in slot? Let me just check your little.
I think he
We
is.
haven't changed our
I
slots.
think you are absolutely going to be right. Let me just double check. He is there. I can see he's on the sheet. So
All right.
absolutely,
do we take the
reroll
16
one.
or do we reroll?
You do reroll. Yeah, on that one.
Okay.
I forgot about him. I could have re-rolled my charisma save.
Uber.
Oh yeah.
18 for 10.
Oh, well.
18 for 10. So both of the ships, the sails do start burning, slowing them down even more.
And that's what Zisa does because now I have to go get my wife from work, so I'll be right back.
no problem. No problem.
Frida will attempt to, on one of the people that is rowing on one of the ships, she's going to cast command and tell him to drop. So they'll drop the rowing.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so yeah, yelling out over the water to drop on that one. Let me see how he's going to do.
It's 60 feet, so we're just
Yeah. You're in that. This is what your deceptions and your speed has managed to get for you on that front. So that is no problem. Let's just try wisdom and saving throw. Let's see how he's going to do. And in this case, he rolls a 7, so he will be dropping his oar and not understanding why as this is going on. Is there anyone else doing anything in these moments to sort of aid in this? It seems like the left ship is looking more like an initial target, if that makes sense. First of all,
So, what, the left ship is further away,
or no, they've lost one oarsman right now, and and their sails are on fire. So it looks like they're going to be slowing down quicker, if that makes sense.
I'll entangle the other one then.
Oh, interesting. Okay, yeah. See how you do. Yeah.
Oh my god, I don't think this is 20 feet, James.
No. Oh, no, that is not 20 feet.
What have you done?
He's broken the game on that one. But that does mean I should really think about doing a scaled map for these little things, which is interesting. I will bear that in mind on that one. Right, I'm going to have one of these guys do the saving throw, and we'll see how.
I was trying to get like the boat.
Yeah. I'm doing it. I'm using him as the
bypass the save.
Yeah, it's fair enough.
the
Fair
oars.
enough. But yeah, we're not quite that front. It's going to be the guy that's literally trying to actually navigate the ship. We're using him as the stand-in from that point of view.
Sure.
And with a rolling of a 7, so you now have managed to pull and slow this one down to a crawl as this is all going on. So this one is limping, and this one is entangled and is in way more trouble, if that makes sense on that front. How are you guys gonna? Yeah, do you split up and try and take them on, or
We're not trying to kill them. We're just taking them hostage.
I think we should.
Prisoners.
They don't know that, yeah. As this is going on, but yeah, what are you trying here? As you're in command of, you navigating your ship here, Frida. Where would you be going in the moment?
One of them is probably closer because it's entangled.
Correct.
So,
Yeah, this one is
so I'd
technically
go up
now
to that
closer.
one first, and if anyone wants to jump down, and
Are you trying to? Are you trying to use the ship to ram it in any way, or are you trying to?
that was the plan, wasn't it? Yeah, just ram it.
Okay, no problem. So I need you to use your strength as a show of the ship's prowess as you try and
James, since
do
the
this end.
ship is technically entangled and restrained, would I get this advantage?
I'm going to say it's going to have an easy time, so I'm okay with that. Sorry, it should probably be a check, not a save, but yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. It's okay.
It's the same. It's +5.
Oh, it's the same on that one. No
makes
problem.
sense.
So I think we have a sort of a scene here where the ship gets badly rammed, and we basically go into a sort of a small battle with these guys here. So obviously this is not a sort of on the map kind of a scene as this is going on, but we will roll for combat and see how this is going to play
Peter
out.
will just yell back, Rowder, take them prisoner, not kill them. Like last time.
Bly shouts down, Rowder, do not kill them, take them prisoner.
And we don't need that one. But yes, as the beginning of this little battle goes on, for distancing wise, it's all you're all going to be pretty much within range, because this is basically, swamping a busted ship as this is going on. But yeah, we'll have to roll some initiative and see how everything is going to play out. Oh, they've done. Some of them have done all right, and then we shall see.
Frida, I don't think she needs to be in this because she's going to be steering the boat.
Yeah, you can use your action though to do maybe we can use that thematically, that you do something with the ship to make things a little different. So yeah, there could be something that you bring to bear as this is going on, and I'll roll Zisa in as well for us there, just to make that a little easier on us.
Who's taking Boulder? Is that ever decided?
I don't think we decided, but I'm going to play it that after his visions last time, that he is back in his old ways of not taking much input. Yeah. So I'm going to sideline him that way for this session as this is going on.
Controller's been unplugged.
Absolutely. So keeping it little bit loose here, but Hodor, you're the first to react as you see this little ship get pulled close as Frida rams it with your own. What does Hodor do in those moments?
Noticing that, hey, we focused on this one boat, but there is another boat getting away.
It's a little further out. Yeah, it's you guys are coming to a halt here. That one will be slowly but surely moving away. It's got a little bit of distance per round. It will get further and further. But at the moment we're talking about 30 feet ahead, if that makes sense.
Oh, only 30. Perfect.
Yeah, 30 or so.
It's
not had a lot of chance to move yet, if that makes sense. The rounds haven't passed.
Okay, so at least to keep it from going particularly fast, just to keep it kind of distracted, Hodor is going to throw out his arm, and he is going to, in the direction of the boat, aiming at the guy driving it, guiding it mostly. Mm-hmm. He is going to cast Infestation.
That sounds horrible.
Entire mass of specifically blowflies are going to amass around the fellow guiding it, and
let me just bring those in damage to make that a little easier as that's going on. No problem. Okay, so he's got to make a Constitution saving throw here. Let's see how he's going to do on that Constitution, and he's going to roll a 12. So I believe he will be. Yes. Yeah, so how does this play out? Is this?
So they stay there on the boat, and each turn for. It doesn't actually say how long it lasts.
I think it's just the one, isn't it? Isn't
well,
it?
No, because it says in the round, if it can move and its speed is at least 5 feet, roll a d4 in the direction. So I can basically just move the infestation. That's what Iskander says.
Okay. Well, we'll see how it plays out on that one. But yeah, so these things are sort of like these flies are sort of like, and he's sort of panicking in the moments. He takes the point of poison damage. Anything else you're going to try and do in the moments?
So they're out there, and there isn't really a bonus action I can do because I forgot to do my false life because I forgot I had that. So that's
no problem.
So that's it.
Movement is a bit loosey goosey in this one. Okay, fair enough. So the worn out raider. So I imagine at the front of who would have been towards the front of the ship, if that makes sense, as this was being rammed. Where do we think? Zeus is probably not. You're up in the crow's nest, so you would be quite visible. That's certainly true. Baldur is a bit silent in these moments. Frida's in the middle of the ship. Rauda probably up front.
Yeah, Rauda would probably be right at the very front.
Okay, like fair enough.
To get into a fight.
Yeah, fair enough on that one. So Rauda, this would
I'd probably be fairly near the front because if Boulder's hiding at the back. At the moment, I need to maintain distance for my own comfortableness.
Fair enough.
So unfortunately for me, I will be as far away from
him as possible. So pretty up front. Also, you probably had to run forward a little bit to try and cast for this other ship on the other side as this is going on. So yes, okay. So this raider will be initially trying to hurl an axe towards Rauda. Let's see how it's going to do as an initial sort of roll, and a 12 I am pretty sure is not going to make it on that one, and will definitely miss, and he is done, and I believe that will bring us to Blythe next on the turn order.
Okay, so rules is written, right? I can attack and just declare it as non-lethal. I can do whatever I like.
Yeah, certainly you can put the spongy end of an arrow on it, and
I want to make these arrows, right? So I want to make rock arrows,
blunted arrows. Yeah,
I feel like this rules is written thing is absolutely stupid.
Yeah. But you I mean, I kind of think it more that you try to hit something non-vital. Is probably the right way.
I shoot the knees out of these.
Yeah, that you're trying to catch a wing them rather than kill them.
You could collect the corks from Boulder's drinking habits and just put the corks on the end of the arrow.
Taking it to a whole different world. Fair enough. But yeah, are you the one that just shot Blythe? Are you aiming the same way, or where are you going for?
I will go. Sorry.
That's okay. It's the end of a long week.
I'll go for this guy here, I guess. I'll go for whichever shot me. I don't, because obviously I don't know which one's what.
No problem at all. No problem.
Middle one.
Yeah, middle one. No problem.
4. This is 11 hit.
11 will miss. Raiders have a AC of a 12, unfortunately.
Oh, good. And as we are level 4, that's all I have. I will go Iron. Take it out.
Oh.
Iron will go.
I can do better than that. I have a wolf snarling in the background. But yes, so that should in theory be a bit of that as your wolf runs up. But maybe there's something about the scent of them that makes it a little bit less than expected. Bringing us to Rauda if Drew is back.
She is going to jump. She's going to get in melee range.
Absolutely no problem. Diving onto this ship that as the bow sort of crashes into the boat, she makes her way over. Not a problem. The look of fear in these farmers' eyes.
Whoever's closest.
We'll just say it's this one on this side. Will be the initial. No problem.
Non-lethally.
She sighs.
Non-lethal.
On that front, considering he has 12 hit points, you come literally in and clonk, and crack, and then you catch him absolutely perfectly, and he drops like a sack out in the moment, and the others are just like,
no, he exploded.
yeah, we know that you've said underneath, so you're okay. But yeah, he sort of he goes down in moments, Raudor, as that's going on. Anything else on your turn?
I guess if she has any movement left, she'll just continue making her way along this ship, taking whoever is on there with her.
No problem. As the look of fear in these guys, as the other as one now fearing for his life sort of moves over towards you and is going to literally try and hit you with his axe and see what he's going to do.
No, we'll be at advantage.
Here 21 for 3 in that moment.
She will take it.
Bringing us to Frida. Now, I don't know if you can think of anything that would bring advantage to the situation, or would you be more
I'm
wanting
ramming the
to?
ship.
You're going to be start to pull the ship round.
Got that.
Just leaving me.
Fair enough.
Okay.
So I think
We'll come back for you.
I'm going to need a strength check from you, and we're going to just see how quickly you can move and get the ship underway.
22.
If that makes sense. 22, very, very good. So yeah, this round you will definitely be able to get within a spitting distance of being the next one. You will be ramming the ship, if that makes sense, because you push the ship on fast and quick.
Stop resisting. We're saving you.
Make a persuasion check. You can definitely do a bit of that.
Sure.
With disadvantage. You're not in a good way.
Okay. Okay, that's 14.
I
Let's
misread
roll
that.
again. I don't know why.
Oh.
14 is still not bad.
14 is not the worst in the world. But I mean, they have just watched others go down.
We are literally attacking them.
That is absolutely
Yes, but
true.
we're
Absolutely
saving
true.
them. We are liberating you.
We're liberating. Zisa, coming round to you as this is going. As the ship's been revered, but you can see both of these little ships. Obviously, Raudor on one with 2 people left, and this other one, you know that your ship is going to ram it within a round.
I think he's gone to go pick up.
He's still away, isn't he? Apologies, on that one. Okay, fair enough. So on that one, I will. Let's just say I'll use a cantrip from him, and he's going to just continue to fire for her and see if he can set more of the sails alight in the moment. Do I roll better for him or worse?
Could she cast sleep on all of them?
I
think
she's got sleep. Let's just have a
Yeah.
look. She does. Oh, interesting. So yeah, as your ship is getting close, let's see how he does. He has a level 1 or a level 2 slot. I think he would try the level 2 just to make sure this works.
What am I doing? Is it something I'm doing?
It is. That people are suggesting that you cast sleep on the other little boat, and see if you can knock them all out in the moment. Would you do it with a level 2 spell and try it, or would you just try and burn the sails? Is the question.
Oh, have we caught up to them? Like, do they?
Yeah,
seem like
you guys are doing real well. The first ship, Raudor, is on it, and she is literally knocked one out already, and is working on. Could be working on the others. Frida has definitely moved your ship onwards, and next round would be ramming this second ship. But this is before that ramming, if that makes sense. So
Okay, yeah, sure. No, I'll upcast sleep. Hang on. So we'll use 2 and blammo. 32.
32. Okay. Bear with me. So the first one here has 12. And the second one is still... it has 11 hit points. And the third one has 14 hit points. So I think you're going to catch... 2 of them will be
Yeah, I leave
unconscious.
one up.
That's pretty damn good on that one. So yeah, I'll just I'll mark him as unconscious, and so you watch how does that go down? And she casts that spell, and what do they see? Is there any part of her magic that they see where she does cast this?
It's pretty much the way she's cast sleep before, which is she draws her finger across the side of her eye to give her the cat's eye tattoo kind of exposed, and she just kind of points where she wants them to sleep, and two of them just drop. Now, I will let you know, James, because I think you wanted me to note this before. When I did use Scorching Ray, those were scribed with the black ink that I found when we found Sadi.
Oh, yes. Thank you for that. Yeah, I will bear in mind on some of that. But yeah, it's certainly, I would say the cells look very vibrant with flame, would certainly be a thing. Okay, so yeah, with that done, is there anything else on our turn, or do we think that's pretty much it?
Let's see, the other one is still up. Why don't I go ahead and telekinetically push him to see if I can't just knock him in the water?
Fair enough.
Because I can do that now.
That's not creepy at all.
So, yeah, strength save 14.
Okay. Let's see. Strength saving throw. Let's see how he's going to do. It's either really good or really bad. And in this case, he rolls an 11, so it's bad. So you guys watch as two of these guys are literally drop like sacks in the boat in front of you guys, and the third one just goes and is literally thrown out of the boat and over and tossed into the waters. He is going to be struggling to figure things out. Baldur watches on, holding some rope and looking on from the back of the ship. Coming back to the top of the turn order, Hodor, you can see the ship directly in front of you. Looks pretty dealt with right now. There was a spluttering guy in the water. There's two that are either dead or or collapsed, but you have seen Zisa cast before, so you know what sleep is like from her. The other ship, you're not that far away from it. I'm only saying about 20 feet at most, where the ship's turned, but you can see Raudor standing like a fury on the boat. And is there anything that you would be trying to pull off in the moment?
Not really, because I don't have a lot of non-lethal things.
Everything's non-lethal if you say non-lethal.
I don't know how that can be with some of these.
Well, no, I know it makes no sense, but
you've got to make it how you got to make your spells how you feel they're comfortable with them. So if you don't feel that they aren't, you can definitely hold back. That's not a problem. You can see that the situation seems pretty controlled. He can just hold back. I mean, you can give me a perception check in the moment if you're not going to do anything else.
Yeah, I'm going to look towards the land and double check that there aren't people on the beach being like, "Oh, these guys are attacking our fellows. We should kill them."
No problem. Yeah, you can give me a perception check. See how you do. 16. You can see parts of their encampment because you guys have glided you caught up with these guys quite early on in their escape time because of all that went on. You can see it looks like a logging camp. You can't see anyone else around. It seems like the people that are here on this little island, this is it. So you're feeling fairly comfortable that this is going to plan.
Okay.
Amazing.
How high up are their flags? I'm just trying to think of if Hodor could get them at any point.
The banners on the ship. Do you mean?
The
front of the banner.
Yeah.
You definitely could. You could jump onto their ship and run across and grab the banner on the one you're near if you wanted to make that. It's not high. Yeah, it is reachable. Okay, because these are Viking ships. They're not. They're not. They've not got any of that strangeness going on. In the front is reasonable. You could dive out and grab one.
Which one was the one that got the sails burnt? Because I'm pretty sure the banner would have got.
Both of these ships.
I roasted both of them.
Yeah. Zisa has roasted both of them. I'm going to say, give me a percentile die, and we will see if I'm going to say there is a 30% chance that that the actual banner hasn't been touched and burnt in this, if that makes sense. So you've got to roll. If you roll over a 30, then the banner is intact and you can go run grab it. So
Okay.
so yeah, you can in the little dice tray give it a go and see.
Hey! No, you had to roll under, right?
No, I made it the other way around in this case on that one. Yeah, high. I like high is good in D&D. So on that one for you. So yeah, apologies, Hody. Yeah, you can definitely you whirl round after looking at the camp, and you do see that unfortunately the Lutan, the War banner on the front of the ship is already in flames, caught from the sails.
Okay.
Fair enough. Okay. And yeah, we'll leave it there for a moment, as we will Router. These guys will be fighting for their lives as they know they're in trouble. This one will try and attack you and see how he's going to do. Will a 16? It's an advantage still, isn't it?
It is indeed. Yeah.
So this guy will roll a 19 for 6 slashing damage as his turn will go.
That will hit. I will use my reaction to give myself a provoked point.
Yes, more of those. Fair enough. And then Blythe, round to you.
I will shoot people in the legs.
Fair enough. There are 2 still standing in the moment.
Right, so, oh god. You said that you're on your own, Router, but actually I rinsed with you, so...
Yes, you did dive the dog in with him. Yeah, so it's...
So
the
your
wolf,
best friend.
yeah, the wolf and Router up front. Yeah, uncomfortable.
Iron instantly attacks Router.
And just finishes a very old feud. Yeah.
So, I will attack that guy first. Shot.
22 for 7. Okay, so that will definitely catch him well, leaving him another nasty injury on him on that front.
And then I will try and take him down. I went on 19 and fell off. That's annoying.
Fair enough. But a 13 will still hit, so another 8.
Nice.
So another 8 damage. So this guy's gone from looking good to being done. So basically he gets pinned by the wolf, and he's brought down and sort of falls into unconsciousness,
like snarling at him. And,
and sort of
and having PTSD
and there's a lot going on. Yeah, a lot going on in the moments. Bringing us, I'm thinking, probably to Router here.
Yes, she is going to run up to the last guy, attack recklessly, non-lethally. 23 for 8.
23 for 8, yeah. Doing significant damage to him, but he is barely standing in the moment.
Standing? Okay, I'll use that provoked point to roll a d12, doing an extra 2 points of damage.
He has 1 hit point, so
Nice.
you will be bringing this combat to an end as this is happening, so no problem. We will end the combat there, and it's a little later than we normally do, but we'll have a quick break if that's ever all right with everyone. Grab a drink, and then we will reconvene. So I will put the stream back on break, and then we'll go from there. we are back then. So yes, we should be back online, and yeah, everyone is has managed to deal with this situation pretty well. It doesn't look like any of your prisoners are dead. You do have one, however, that is floundering in the moments as the combat sort of comes to an end, and you guys are now dealing with the aftermath of all of that. What sort of happens in these initial moments? Obviously, most of them are unconscious. One is floundering in the water. What happens next in the next few moments?
Well, everybody go tie them up, bring them aboard. I cannot just leave the wheel.
They'd already tied it up and aboard, silly.
Well, they're all certainly knocked out, and you can certainly do a bit of that. The one that's floundering and will slowly be drifting off. Is anyone going to try and stop that, or is he cut loose at the moment? Is the question.
Just wave goodbye.
Zisa will use her telekinetic mage hand to just grip him by like the scruff of his armor and just keep him in place so he doesn't drift away. And since it can only lift like 5 to 15 pounds or something like that. The only thing it does is steady him. It doesn't help him swim or anything like that. So
Fair enough.
I keep him in place, but someone else is going to have to get him.
Yeah, I think this is probably, I'm going to say, because this is non-combat-y thing, I think this is where Baldur feels like he's actually useful and does actually try and pull the guy in. And he's floundering and choking.
Oh,
and
he's making a big deal of it as well, surely.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I'm quite sure.
Yeah, how much I'm doing. Yeah.
This is what I am. Yeah, so all of the bravado is probably there, whether or not anyone believes any of it anymore. There's a little bit of that. But yeah, he will pull him in. The guy is running out of energy and is on a low ebb. The others, it takes a few moments, but you guys easily start to bring them on board and tie them and restrain them as needed. Others are unconscious, and it takes a little bit of time. You bring the boat round and collect the others, and Raudor will have already started probably doing the work on that front as you guys slowly but surely have prisoners. It's pushing a boat to the limit. You're at the sort of upper end of what this boat can carry. With when you start adding this number of passengers on your boat, you're pretty close to your
we'll give them
to your
the
maximum.
It's fine.
That is true. They are already carrying a set of prisoners as well, but there is a bit of that. But yeah, at the moment, these are on board. What's the sort of initial things that you guys are thinking about?
Zisa doesn't help with any of the retrieving of the people aside from the mage hand for that one guy, because she's ritually casting detect magic to see if any of them are influenced. Absolutely.
As all of that tech goes on and a little bit of time passes, Zisa, you are able to discern none of these people seem to be infected in the way that you have seen previously with the thorns. They are of their own mind, or you believe that would be true.
So Zisa just, after walking near enough to all of them to see if they have any of the thorns in the base of their necks, do they have any magic items or no?
No. These are very common folk. Their weapons are low grade, the whole shebang.
Okay, so she'll just say, none of them are influenced by the ironwood. They seem to be themselves and are capable of making their own decisions.
There is one that is conscious enough that's been spluttering. If anyone is willing to, talk to him, or as Baldur's been restraining him and tying him up.
Should we take them back to the settlement?
We need to explain to them first why we did what we did. Like, you can't just knock them out, tie them up, and then go, oh, should we just take her back?
Well, it's only like not that far. They're going to be waking up eventually.
They may know something. They may have seen something. They may know. Maybe that's why they were so worried when they saw us.
Zisa walks up to the one being restrained by Baldur and says, "You. Are
I'm
you of,
shouting this from the crow's nest, by the way, because I'm still up there.
Yes, very
are you of the same sect of the clan that has been attacking the Volve ships?
He looks at you confused, and I don't know what you're talking about. You're from Halhorn?
Yes, as is our captain. We have been tasked by the Volve, and your clan has been attacking us. Why?
That does not. We don't do that. I can't believe. Make an insight check.
Not super insightful.
Mhm. Okay. Yeah, he's hard enough to be hard to read in the moment. But he says, "That can't be true. We aren't on the best of terms with the Volve, but we wouldn't go against them."
You have, under the command of, what's that guy's name? Zisa would know, but I wouldn't.
No problem. Yes, his first name is Gully. His last name, I think, was Vestem, but yes, Gully Vestem, I believe, is the correct name that Blythe would have known.
And if Blythe knows, then Harolf probably knew, which means Zisa knows.
Yes, I'm
Is
saying
what
that.
I'm going for that.
That's not a problem. And he says, he is in command of us, yes, from our little outpost, but we aren't. I know nothing of what you speak. You, from what I see, have attacked us, and I see no Volve banner.
Our previous ship that had the Volve banner was burned by your clan. We've had to travel with the banners that we could scrounge up along the way because of your clan.
Make a persuasion check.
Ah, it's the bad one.
Fair enough. I know. He's just like more honorless Varang out for what they can get. We're just a small camp.
Zisa takes her gemstone that she has that she casts through, and will just brush her knuckles across her cheek, which is her casting Charm Person.
Ooh, okay.
And she goes from the stock, straight up, rigid posture that she has to a softer position. Her face softens, and she'll say, "We are not the Varang. I told you, we are of the Volve. We've been tasked with an important mission, and for some reason, your clan has been hindering us. Why would they do that? You can tell me."
I can't. They tried to hurt you? I can't believe that would be a thing they would do.
They did. They betrayed us, tried to kill our captain, and then burnt our ship, as I said.
They would only do that if someone high up had told them to do it. Maybe even her.
And I kind of look at Blythe for a recognition of her, and then look back and I say, "Her who? I'm of Halhorn. I do not know who you speak."
We worship hell. If she had asked us to do something, if there had been whispers, then maybe. And yeah, I mean, hell, you guys are aware of is it's a fairly obvious person. They are literally the ruler of the underworld, and some of you know more than others from your backstory on that front. But he's sort of he's intimating that if a god had asked it, they would have done it. But he's also implying that it would have, if something like that was going on, higher ups would have asked for it. And that would also mean that the Jarl, the upper people of the clan would, for it to be something they would do. But I can't believe they did. Are you sure you're not mistaken?
I look to Egil and see if she reacts to the fact that Hel may have commanded this.
Yeah, she is stricken in the moments, and she looks very, very pale and looks almost sick. With the possibility.
Blythe, why don't you come down here?
I am. I was going to just say, by this time, I'm definitely down.
You're
like
literally the
down
first.
at the time.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, so you make your way down onto the decks, and it's at this point that the raider sees you and your clan symbols, and he says, "You are one of us."
I thought I was, yes, but I was attacked, just as they say.
We've been.
I do not understand. I do not think that you mean us any ill will, but you understand why.
Yeah,
have to
Cecil
take
would never.
precautions.
Yeah, this lady would never lie to me. I definitely understand.
I apologize, James, because this dude should have made a wisdom save to see if he was actually charmed by me.
Oh, he did. Yeah, he did, and he failed it. He rolled an 11. So
Good,
yeah.
just making sure so that while Blythe is talking to him, Zeus is staying close.
On that front.
I
The
do not
gully
understand
is
why Hel-
he is calculating. He is not normally malicious. He would do as commanded, but he is not he does not do things uncalculated normally.
So, is this the guy I saw on the ship?
You did, yeah, absolutely. And from your point of view, the things that you do know, the attack obviously took out the ships, but you do know that he broke off early and did not try and finish you all off. He did sail away with the job unfinished. That's certainly something that you are also aware of with all of that going on.
From what you say, may add up. I sort of turned to the others and go, he did not stay to fight. He bid the ships and left us to fight the others. Just don't understand why.
We've
Why would
had
Hel
strange
want to
goings on
come
at home. We've found people that have been not of their own minds.
Well,
We've
that sounds familiar, doesn't it?
We've recently had to kill some of our own. Could this be part of it? Maybe there is more going on than I am aware.
There's definitely an influence happening. We've come across people not of their mind in other clans so far. That's why we thought we'd have to stop you guys, because obviously anyone can be them. And luckily we have Zisa here who can detect if that's the case or not.
We have found a few, and they have been ordered to death.
Who has ordered them?
The gully himself. He saw no other choice. But that was the only thing we knew of before we left a few days back. But I know nothing of this attack that you speak of. We are just lumbers, and I do not know his movements. If you were to come under a flag of parley, they may be willing to speak. If some of us are brought along, I
I'm a
suppose.
war-
It
I'm a war
increases your
clan
chance.
member. I don't feel like I need to come under a parley.
You do with the
this is where
people
I'm
that you
from.
come. You do with these folk. They are not of us. We would have fled sooner if we'd realised all of the symbols we can see on the rest.
Perhaps that's our best bet. Captain, what do you think?
And
I-
Zisa dictates what's happening to Herolf because that's who she thinks is the captain.
I am the captain now. Blythe, this is. I'll be honest. This is all on you. It's your clan. I understand you want to save them, but we have. It sounds horrible, but we have other missions and other things to do. But if you feel like we do need to go to your clan, and I completely understand. And if Herolf is fine with it, then let it be.
Don't understand what to do. I mean, the girl seems to have a handle on it, really, doesn't he? But then I can't. This is why I turn to you, because I'm obviously going to want to see my clan
Well,
out of danger.
we do know that I have some power of at least extracting whatever is happening to them. Whether I can fully get rid of it is another thing. And if I'm more worried that the gully is under influence too, but he is just pretending, maybe, or
That's true.
I don't know.
You are all you're going on is that there's been some incidents in the camp, and some of them have been put to death, but you don't know any more than that. That is true.
And we have also seen your clansman come back to life, which is even more worrying.
By hell's grace. He seems to, yeah, he is scared of that idea.
If hell is the queen of death, right?
Yes, she absolutely is. She's literally, basically, the ruler of the underworld.
Then
Yeah,
that makes a lot of sense.
and it's also pretty much anyone that doesn't make it through the gates and goes the right way. If they fall into the sea, they're all hell's collection. That's certainly true. But she's usually, yeah. People have different views on her depending on, yeah. Most fear would definitely be a thing, but others see her as just the transition between life and death.
That's right.
What would, as a paladin, what would my opinions be of hell? I imagine not like. I imagine it wouldn't be scared or hatred.
No,
It's
no,
part
no,
of
no.
life.
Far from it. Far from it. Yeah. In your case, it's part of life. She has a job to do, and she is tasked with it. But yeah, no, you do not see it in the same light as others would. Your values more closely meet with the War clan on that front.
I mean, my god is the god of battle, so there is a lot of death in that.
Yes, but so the way there is a lot of death in it, but usually, if they die well, they go elsewhere. If they die badly, they end up with hell. Is the way it goes. But yeah, it's not. She has a job to do. Yeah, it's kind of she's not looked on badly from your god's point of view, if that makes sense.
I feel like we should go to the war, because if hell has something to do with this, then it is far worse than we could have probably ever imagined.
I know, right?
And we need to get to the bottom of this anyway, and we still do not even know where the Volve is. We are going south, but to what end? We know where we're going, but we don't know if they're going to be there.
Yeah, I mean, you are definitely aware that your best options are northwards, because of the Well of Wisdom is north.
North.
But yes, but at the moment, at the moment you've been detouring south. That is definitely true and to the point at the moment. As I sort of tidy this little scene up a little bit for a moment. But yes, you can. So what's the thought process? Are you going to try and go under a flag of parley, or are you going to try other avenues? It's sounding like you're.
If Rolf says it is okay, then I will agree to go to the War Clan and at least try and find out if it is ingrained with the War Clan or is further out than that.
Yeah, it's ZCU. I mean, you'd certainly hear back. I mean, he is. This parlay business is not sitting well with him. He is a raider, but in those terms. But this is your guy's lead. He would keep the other ship at a distance, and you would have to deal. Obviously, if you can call, and he would help. He would bring the other ship in when the time arrived. But he does point out you would be on your own for a while until he pulled in a little later if things went south.
Zisa could send her owl. That if the owl shows up, then he would know to show up if he's beyond the reach of message, which I think is just 120 feet. So probably. Yes, yeah. But I imagine you guys have worked out a signal thing with the owl before in the past. So I'm happy that would be you would be able to send a signal that would definitely make sense if need be. So you guys, so you're going to literally roll out the white banner kind of style on the front of the ship and make your way there under a flag. Are you going to keep a few of these guys on, or are you going to let them all off back on their little island? What's the thought process?
I think we should keep a couple just for like safety reasons, and because they've clearly believed our story, they can vouch for our character.
I would advise against the one that we have been interrogating, as after a time he will know that I've used magic on him and he will respond with hostility.
Oh, that's what you were doing. Your voice went weird and it freaked me out a little bit before talking to him. I didn't realize there was actually magic behind that. I don't know, I turned away when you were doing that. It made me feel weird. Didn't like it.
Even so.
Do you have enough supplies for you to live out in this small settlement for at least until we know what's happening with the War Clan?
We would certainly be able to survive for a while. Would you be leaving us with our ships, or one's already beyond repair?
Yes, I can only apologize for that. We did come in peace, but clearly it didn't go that way.
But yeah, Cecil wouldn't mean me any harm, so we will be fine. But yes,
no harm came to you, and the ones that did come to harm will heal. No one died.
Well, we will be fine for a time. Better off if we still have a ship.
I can leave you with that ship. That's no problem. They're not. Zisa's already found out that they're not under the influence.
Correct.
So
yeah, you found that none of these have had that. Yeah.
Blythe, what would you do with your clansmen? I don't want to leave them to die potentially.
No,
but,
they will not die. They'll be fine. Leave them the boat, and they'll be. If you leave 4 there, maybe, and we take 2, then they can row back when they're feeling up to it.
Okay.
So
that's how it plays out. You guys pull closer to the shoreline, letting off most of these raiders, leaving you with two of them still restrained that do come around with time, and you do you would have gotten the information out of the one that you had to the actual location of the settlement. He would have actually been able to fill you in on the how far that way is. It's about a couple of hours by sea, and he points you on where it will hug across the coast, and you will find it up ahead. And that will certainly play out. If there's nothing else anyone else is going to be doing in these moments, we'll move to the beginnings of the island, if that seems to make sense.
Mm-hmm.
How long would that take?
About 2 hours sail, you've been told.
2 hours? Okay, because Zisa's going to use Arcane Recovery to get back some spells.
No problem. So a couple of hours will pass as another island, slightly larger than the one that you've been at before, is dominated by a cliff rising almost vertically on the northward side, with a gentler slope facing the south. A sparse forest covers the island, offering little concealment, coming up to the sort of middle section where you can see wooden towers and a wall ring around the outside, presumably protecting a small community. A small group of buildings would be in. We're not talking more than like 10 buildings in total, one slightly larger than the others. As you guys are sort of making your way closer and picking some of this out, can I have a perception check from Blythe, please, as he's doing the bits, I'm assuming assisted with the owl? Or have we lost him?
No, I can't. For some reason, I'm asked because I understand I'm on my wolf.
Ah, wrong token. Fair enough.
Makes sense. There we go. 25.
25. Okay. You can pick out quite a lot of details. Your ship is coming in visibly because you're going for the parlay option as this is going on, but there are wheat fields growing around the outsides, little bits of snow dusting the hills leading up to the settlement itself. There are basically a few sheds for buildings. The outer edges are 4 towers, and you can already start to pick out that there are archers on each of the 4 towers as this is going on, and there does seem to be a small shrine in the middle area off to one side of this space, and it seems to be definitely painted up. It seems to have the markings of a shrine to hell, which would make sense for the War clan. But yeah, a very small settlement. You would have said probably 20 or 30 people at most would be in this sort of size place. So we're not talking vast amounts. There is signs of at least 2 longships that are docked. But other than that, yeah, this sort of range, that's what you're picking up, and you're starting to get to the point where you think they will be picking up on you guys as you're sort of starting to sail closer. Is there anything else that anyone would be working on as this is all happening, or wanting to pull off, or is this to play out as you drift up to the shores?
During this time, probably Hoda would be trying to study the at least start to like plant the bits of ironwood that he nicked from that ship with the trees attached to it.
Oh, okay.
He wants to start his propagation so that he's
propagating them into the
yeah.
Has he got any spells to actually I suppose he's got druidcraft, doesn't he, and things like that?
He has got druidcraft, so
what I'm getting at is he pouring magic into seeding this into the ship's hull, is what I'm getting at as a start point.
He won't. Do we have anything like little crates or something? Because I don't think he'd want to connect it to the boat as such. Because he'd ask permission for that, but he doesn't want to talk to people about this shit until he knows more. So yeah, I'd get like a little box set up into it. Into
that on that one. So yeah, you're planting this little ironwood sapling and trying to cultivate it, and you're starting the process and going from there. No problem. Yeah. No, it's certainly it's still alive. It's it's tough old stuff. But that you're beginning that process, and there's a little scene of that going on. Anyone else got anything in the moments, or?
Nope.
Zisa makes sure that the wizard's corpse is underneath a tarp.
Yes, fair enough. So yeah, those sort of things are covered.
Yeah, and I'll put the head that we found underneath there as well. The cast iron head. That's also in
yes, yeah, that's hidden away as well.
Cover
on
your
that one.
corpses, kids.
No problem. Okay, so yeah, as all of this, as this all makes its way on, then you guys are able to approach. There will be two men that approach down to where this sort of dock area is, and sort of make themselves known to you as you're arriving, and they are also holding the white banner that allows a parley to actually work under, and they say, unusual but well met.
James, can I say that up until this point, I was really casting detect magic so that it kicked off right when we basically got to dock?
Yeah, you could time. You would have been able
Okay,
to time
thank
it.
you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no problem. What brings you here?
God, I forgot I'm the
And
captain.
yeah, strange group.
We come here as a parley known. We come here in peace. We have been attacked by your clansmen.
They look
But they
between
were
each
under
other.
the
They look between each other for a moment.
They were under the influence of some evil presence.
Again, they look between each other.
I'm one of the protectors of the Volve. We were flying under a banner of the Volve, but as I just mentioned, your clansmen burnt our ship down. But again, it is nothing against your clan. We know that there was some sort of evil. We even have one person from your clan with us. And she gestures to the top of the ship, to Blythe.
And you have a wolf.
I assume he's coming down.
And you have a wolf among you.
Yes. Again, we do not want any fighting, anything. We have come here for answers, and answers alone.
Well, under rules of parley, you may be brought before one of the leaders. You would have to come without your weapons and leave your crew.
All of us?
Does that mean we
Just
don't
me?
get corrections?
Anyone that wishes to be involved in the parley should, in theory, come unarmed if they're truly willing to parley. And then we can see if the goal will see you.
Yeah, would Thorgerd do that for us to give us that juicy bonus to persuasion?
I think he said no crew, right? So I don't think we can. I think it'll just be us for now.
Yeah, anyone you bring with you, they would go unarmed. Is basically what they're intimating. It doesn't mean you can't, make her one of the group that you take.
All right.
But it's a limited number. If you will agree to those terms and maintain the parley, I'm willing to take you to see the goal.
It's fine. Would Blythe be able to have his weapons as a member of your clan? Not that we do not trust you. We at least need some sort of protection.
He can walk free amongst us.
Cool.
I do not know your face, but you clearly are one of us. As he looks at the wolf at your side as well. Hell has given you one as well. And he sort of chuckles at that.
Well, take us to your
James,
one of your leaders.
I was on mute then. Sorry.
That's fine.
Do I know what that means, or is that weird?
It's I mean, you know that wolves have not been around for a long time, and they are considered a gift from hell.
Right, okay.
There is a bit, you know it in those terms, but
I didn't know if that was like, hang on, what?
No,
It's
no. Yeah, I mean, you are very outsiderish for even for the Warclan, so you don't. Yeah, but your wolf just turned up one day. You definitely know that. But you just take that as a gift from things. But yeah, your clan members think they are a gift from hell.
Okay.
As that's going on. Okay, so yeah, you guys will make your way to the White Rack. If yes,
whilst I'm putting my spear away on the ship, I'm going to just put a full slice on myself, just so that I've got those extra hit points in case things go awry.
That's not a bad idea. I'm going to do the same.
I'd be, but I can't do it, so I don't.
Sucks to you.
Okay. So
Boo. Only 5.
you guys make your preparations. How much weaponry are you giving up? Are you following through with what he's asking for? Do you actually? Does anyone try and conceal anything? What's
We've got
the thought?
a lot of casters. Just do as they say.
We've got a paladin, so the paladin is going to follow the orders. Just drop everything on the ship.
I only have a spear, so.
Yeah, Zisa stabs the very ornate, very expensive-looking dagger into the hull of the ship, and we'll leave it.
Yeah, Eggle will make sure that your stuff is looked on.
Disturbing sight, watching Rauda just drop like 1,000 axes from everywhere.
Yeah, she has her main great axe, and there's just like a copious amount of smaller hand axes. And some of you might recognize the woodsman's axe as well, although much
gnarlier and older. Yeah, nice,
rusted and
lovely.
Definitely hasn't seen battle in a long time, but yeah, she'll leave that as well.
Yeah.
Now, are we taking any crew with us?
We can't.
I thought that we could, as long as they weren't armed.
You can you can take your slots.
Right. We'll take lucky, persuasion.
Yeah. So that's Frine, that's Thorgerd. I kind of want to take Ego with us since she's familiar with hell.
Okay. There we go.
And also, she can give us the smite ability in case this goes bad and we need to kill some of these bad guys.
So City is out. You're going to keep the little guy and Fjord and Frine. Is that correct? Have I got that in the right order?
No, Thorgerd.
Sorry, for the persuasion. Yes. Sorry, a different set.
Unless somebody else wants to mix that up in a different way,
nope.
but
No, that's the best way forward.
Yeah, it's all good.
Okay.
No problem. I mean, Eggle, I think Hodor. Who spoke to her originally and remind me back in nowhere? It was Zisa, wasn't it, on that one?
Yeah.
And she does turn to you and says, I am not very trusting of all of this.
Neither are we. That's why you are coming with us.
Hell is never a good omen. And she seems on it, definitely on edge, but she is willing to go with you all. You guys make your way up the island towards the small encampment. You can see the archers on the outer walls, and the men will lead you in, and they will take you along to the start point. Bear with me. Let's get some vision on things in here. One second. I'm assuming it's all black for all of you, or can you see anything at all?
No, I can see.
I can see.
Ah, okay. It's just on the stream. It's gone. So bear with me 2 seconds. Let me just refresh that and just see if we can get improve that a bit, because if it's blank for the rest of the thing, it might be a bit much. So we'll give that a moment to reload.
So remember, everybody, if we need to sacrifice anybody, it's going to be Baldur, okay?
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
And Raudo, since she can't die. We have two options.
That looks better. Okie dokie. So it's just gonna restart that for a moment, so we get some music back going. Right, so that should all be running again. You guys are coming up on the outside of this space, and yeah, you can definitely. The guys will bring you up to the doors and will open the main gates, allowing you to make your way inside. And there's a few guards around, a few people dealing with things in the spaces as they ask you to come into the main courtyard. And he says, if you will be willing to wait here in this main space, we will see if the goal will see you.
I imagine me and Blythe would be at the front, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no problem at all. For most of you, this is this larger building, this shrine off to one side is the that you will see for the first time is a much it's a larger building than the rest that are around there, and it does have a giant carving of a wolf's head on the outside, overhanging the main double doors that allow entrance into this shrine. It is kind of an imposing sight, even for even for most of you as this is going on, as it looks like the eyes of this wolf are sort of almost boring into you. You guys wait a few moments as the guard will go off, and he returns in after a little bit, and he says he is willing to meet with you all this way, and that he will basically lead you into the shrine.
I'm assuming the wolf is with us, right? Well,
yes. Apology. Yeah, I might not have brought the token, but I'm assuming the wolf is
always
a thing. As I will make the scene as you guys are brought before him in the shrine of hell, was the best way of putting it. The statue behind him has the face or half skull on one side, flesh on the other. A disturbing enough sight to be seen for those that haven't seen imagery of hell before. It's a scary sight. And then we have our version of Jason Momoa from this one, because I realized he had to fit a certain
just can't get away from this guy
on that front, and so he sort of he's standing and he's been sort of almost praying to her, and he's looking away from you all as you come in, and then he turns and sort of looks at you all. So you are all the survivors of that tower, and you've made your way here. And under parley, I am surprised by this. But maybe there are greater powers at play. And he sort of looks back to the statue of hell behind you.
Did he say that we were the survivors of the tower?
Yes.
How did he know that?
He's seen your faces on the beach.
James.
Oh, this was the guy.
This is literally the guy.
Yeah. Walking
what?
walking into this place and walking into here, is anybody pricked by the ironwood?
As you're looking around, no, you're not seeing any of that. You're not detecting anything odd like that going on with him.
So
he is magical. I mean, there is other things going on with him, but it's not. It's not to do with. It's more to do with his nature than being controlled as this is going on.
That's because he looks like Jason Momoa.
I had to change him because I now know who his sister is, so he needed to be of a different, I think, origin. So
gotcha. Does he have any magic items on him?
He does not appear to, no, but he is. He's clearly very similar magics to Hodor. You would guess a druid from even looking on that one.
Okay, so I'll cast a glance at Blythe and give a slight shake of my head to indicate that there's no ironwood influence here.
So you're not afflicted, I see.
Afflicted? Ah, you mean like others we have been dealing with? these ironwood problems.
Begs the question then why you did something so illogical as attack us when you know we were on a mission of the Volve.
I have known us no such thing. We knew that there was a group from the Volve going there, and we knew that Hell had asked us to intervene. What I didn't know at the time was that the message that I received from my sister may have been tampered with.
Of course.
I
In
do
what
not
way?
know by how much, but it makes me rethink what may have occurred on that island.
How were you receiving messages from Hell anyway?
This is not from Hell. Would be from my sister, the Jarl, and and he would say Artis, and you would know that name. She is the Jarl of the War. On that one, the message came that Hell demanded that we seek you out and make sure that to never leave that tower.
That seems awfully specific for a god to be saying that you need to seek us out specifically and then make sure we do not leave the tower, do you not think?
I do not know how all gods work, but Hell can be quite direct when she wants to be. When she asks us to move, we move. She allows us to move through the underworld when we need to, and we do it. Seems pretty direct for me.
Then how would she feel of you enacting orders from somebody claiming to be her? As you have stated, someone tampered with the message from your sister. Perhaps you were supposed to aid us.
And these are things I don't know the answers to. And I have spent many days praying on looking for an answer for that. And I have not been able to have a message from my sister to answer what is to come.
Have you maybe thought that your sister might be under the influence of this evil that has taken over a lot of your clan? If the Jarl is under the influence, then it's probably a lot easier to get the rest of the clan under influence.
I would hope that Hell would at least help those of power that give her strength, but again, these are things I have been praying on for the last few days. And maybe it is fortuitous that you arrive at such times.
Well, I don't know if you remember, but one of your clansmen fell into the water by my spear. He came back to life and came onto that island again.
His eyes
to
go
attack
wide.
us.
His eyes go a little wide at that, and
This is why we think Hell is... Well, we don't know if Hell is doing this, but we are worried that it might be a part of her somehow.
A very quick
Some of this
message
must-
behind
yeah.
behind Frida's back to Frida from Zisa. Perhaps you should not have said that Hell herself brought back the undead of the war to continue to interfere with us.
yeah, his eyes do go wide as he says that, and he says, "I do not pretend to know what a god needs of us, but I also know that someone has been tampering with that word. Maybe there is more to this. Maybe Hell does want something to do with you. But that does not necessarily mean that we must end on each other's throats. But if she wishes it, I will go that route at some point. Bear no mistake. But for now, I think you have been brought to me, and I have been praying on this very, very thought. We worship her, and she has brought us many things. The wolves. Ways to move through her lands when we need to. And she has brought us to places that have taken us to the very far north. And my sister and my clan, most of them will be there. If you are willing and accepting of us sailing with you, we would sail north to find the truth of all of this. But know this, if it is that hell demands that we must deal with you, I will honor that. But I will also honor this truce for now. Is this acceptable?
Insight check.
No problem. You can definitely insight check him.
Like Blythe was literally just about to say, like, yeah, can't say fairer than that. You know, it's fine.
On that one, yeah, Hoda, he's hard to read. You don't pick up on it. Zisa, you think he's telling the truth?
Again, another quick message, just to Frida. He seems to be speaking true.
Frida will look to Blythe, making sure that he approves of this as well. This is his clan.
Well, I think it's fair enough. Like, if it turns out that hell wishes us to cease for any reason, then I would like to understand why. And you know, I've grown up worshiping hell too. I would like, you know, if she said we must cease because it could, you know, end the world or whatever, then obviously we will. But we also, I look directly at the girl and I say, we also have to make our own assumptions sometimes of what we see fit. And if this is if the will of hell is a detriment to all of our clan, then, well, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it, I guess.
She is not. There is other things going on. I am sure of it. But are we in agreement? We will sail as one group. We'll head towards the north. I will lead you to where my sister is, and we will figure this out from there.
I think we are in agreement for now. I know more than many the way the gods work, and they do work in weird ways sometimes. But you are going to have a lot harder of a time convincing the person whose ship you burnt to sail with us.
Is he an honourable man? Will he follow with the parley that you set out?
He will. I've sailed with him many times, but he is not happy that we have come in parley. He is still very angry at what you've done.
He nods. Right. He can accept that. He doesn't look perturbed per se. And he says, "Very well. A truce there will be between our clan and yours for now, and your group. We will prepare to sail. For the evening, we will ask that you make your way back to your ships, and we will prepare ourselves to vacate on the seas as well in the morning."
Okay.
Okay. So with a shaky truce in order. You all then you go back to the boat that night. There may or may not be scenes with Seb as he returns that might take place over this night when we come back to the game next time if he's around.
As we're walking back to the ship, I will talk to Zisa and say, I suggest you talk to her off before we set sail. You are probably the closest to him, but this may not be a deal that he will be too happy about. But unfortunately, this is where we are. This is what we have to do.
He will not be pleased, but he is a man of honor, and he will see the reason in it. Of that I have faith.
I mean, the flowery language that eventually Zisa that you get from him is strong, but you are absolutely correct. He will honor this until at such time as something would break. It is, I think, there might be some scenes overnight, like I said, and things going on there with this. But I think what we'll do is we'll leave the scene with the sort of your ship preparing and another ship nearby as these ginormous wolves are sort of brought out that were obviously clearly inside of that encampment somewhere as well. The gull riding on the back of this ginormous wolf makes its way down to the actual side of the ship and will be getting on to the ship with him as their group with three of these large wolves literally in the mix of their ship. And it's like riding a bear would be the best way of putting it as you guys watch as this all happens. And the camera sort of pans out as you guys are preparing to set sail for the north, maybe for the Wa first before the Well of Wisdom, putting off your mission a little further maybe, but at least going in the right direction. And I think that's where we'll leave it for next time. So
Okay, you said overnight stuff will happen, like
yes,
for next session?
all it is that I will I will let Seb have, if he has a look at all of this and decides that there might be a moment where he actually perks up and Baldur speaks. So yeah, there may be some scenes for this evening, the night, but then it will be onwards to the sea and heading to the north. So yeah, well done everyone. I will cut the stream there. So thank you.